Hi, my name is Faith. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be doing a weekly meal prep. The 5 things I'm going to be making in this video are roasted sheet pan vegetables, chili, taco meat, beef taquitos, and a crock pot chicken fajita recipe. My child does not like to eat ground beef, but other than that, these are all pretty kid and adult friendly recipes. So if that sounds good to you, then stay with me and I'll show you how to get it done in an hour. Well, mostly an hour because the crock pot runs 6 to 8 hours if you cook your meat on low. And I actually left mine overnight. Okay, so I'm starting off here with some olive oil that I put on the pan. And I'm going to slice up this yellow squash and zucchini. But you can use whatever vegetables you want, whatever you have from your garden, whatever's on sale at the grocery store, what you have left in your freezer that's about to get freezer burned, or that already is freezer burned. Roasting them, I can't say it's going to take away the freezer burn, but roasting them gives it a really rich, in-depth flavor. So if you have freezer burned vegetables to use, you could try roasting them and it might be a winner, but it also might be a total bust. So don't take my word for it. I'm just warning you. Next, I am slicing up all of these cherry tomatoes and I'm just going to toss these together onto the pan. I'm also chopping up some onion here. This is red onion, but I also have white onion that I have to process. And the tomato and the red onion add really delicious roasted flavor to the sheet pan, and I would highly recommend. I love roasted vegetables. So my opinion's probably a little biased. This red onion is getting split in half. The finely diced part that you see here is going to be going into the crock pot fajita chicken, and this part is going to be cut in bigger chunks and put on my sheet pan vegetables before they go in the oven. These sheet pan veggies took about 10 minutes to prepare and get into the oven. Some of these peppers are for snacking on, and most of them are going to go into the crock pot. This part of my meal prep started to get a little bit hectic because I also had to start getting ready for dinner. And I was like, what am I going to do for dinner? How am I going to make anything when this kitchen is so packed and I have so much going on? So I kept it simple and I was like, well, we can have some peppers and we can have this cucumber that's sitting in the fridge. Our quick go-to dinners that are no-cook options are cream cheese toast with a side of fruit and vegetables, or a Greek yogurt bowl with some veggies like a cucumber or something. So we kept it simple and I did that. I do not like peeling my cucumber with a knife like this, but I am getting better at it because I've been having to do it. I like using a regular peeler, but I am just in a different house and I don't know where a good peeler is to do the cucumber. I don't like doing it this way though because I feel like I'm wasting cucumber because I take too much skin off with the knife. Let me know down below if you have an easier way to do that or if it's just from practice. I am putting my cucumber peels in this cup as compost, and that cup by the end of this is going to be totally jam-packed full with food. Now my veggies are done. They have to sit there and cool before I can put them away. Now I'm going to put some onions in the bottom of this pot. This pot's going to have the ground beef going in there. Alright, this is the meat bag. I gotta tell you, my daughter's getting antsy at this point. Dinner's not ready. I'm gonna do this meat as quick as possible. Clean up everything, disinfect and sanitize everything as fast as I can, and then get ready for our regular dinner. I was stressing out at this point. But we did it. We got the ground beef into the pan. We're keeping everything sanitary. The packages go right in the bag and they go into the trash immediately. We're getting the chicken in the crock pot. Nothing, no meat is touching anything. I'm really paranoid about meat touching stuff and contaminating stuff and us getting sick. So I'm just very particular about how I do this. And because I'm at my mom's house and it's kind of a very cluttered kitchen, it makes me a little more stressed out and it's a harder space to work in. But here we are getting it done. We're adding taco seasoning to the meat because I thought we had fajita seasoning and we didn't. I'm adding some water just because I always do a little bit of something saucy, liquidy into the crock pot with my meat. And here come the onion and the peppers. I'm going to jam pack this so full that you'll see me take a spoon and press it down to try and make it so I could get the lid on. And I left this overnight, so the peppers and onions practically melted in to the chicken, and then I shredded it and mixed everything together, and it is so delicious. At this point in the video, we're probably about 40 minutes into this meal prepping process. And I finally can put my veggies away because they're cooled off enough. So in this pot is just ground beef and onions. This is going to be split between taco meat, which I'm also going to be using for beef taquitos. And the other portion of this is going to stay in the pan and turn into chili. Also, this chili is only 4 ingredients, so it's like a really good, budget-friendly, simple, easy, come-together quick recipe. What I'm doing right here is I'm going to just pick up this pot and drain the beef grease right into this compost bin, which is filled with frozen stuff, and then I'm going to put it right back into the freezer. That might not be the best idea, and that's not what I'm used to doing, but this compost bin goes in the freezer, and so that's why I'm doing it. It's not like I'm going to dump the beef fat down the drain. It would clog the drain if you do that. So the 4 ingredients for this particular chili is onion, ground beef, chili beans, and a can of crushed tomato. To get my flavor right, I actually ended up using 3 cans of chili beans, and it made so much chili, way more than I was expecting. So I actually gave some away to my sister, and I gave some to my dad, and him and my mom had that for a dinner the other day. That was nice. Anyway, you can add whatever you want to this chili. You can add zucchini, you can add carrots. If you have canned carrots, you can blend them up and add them to this, and it can add to the sauce and thicken the sauce. And somebody told me that carrots also cut down the acidity of the tomatoes. So if you don't eat a lot of tomato products because you have stomach problems, that might help to fix some of that problem. These chili beans I get are also 89 cents at Walmart, and I think they're $1.09 right now at the Dollar General. But overall, it's pretty budget friendly. Usually in my grocery shopping, I buy a family pack of chicken and a family pack of beef once a month so that I'm not spending a whole lot of money on meat at the grocery store, because that really adds to your grocery budget. I added another can of chili beans to get the right flavor because it was not strong enough. I'm going to move all these cans and lids over to the sink, rinse them out, and then put them in the recycling. Okay, now we're on to the taco meat. I'm going to add taco seasoning, and then I'm going to add taco cheese. Unfortunately, I did not have a big enough bowl, and so despite all my best efforts, I had to separate all my taco meat into 2 separate containers just to be able to mix it, but that's okay. If it seems like I added too much cheese here, that's because I definitely did. Some of this is going to be set aside for a salad, and most of this is going to be going into my beef taquitos that I'm going to be making. I think it's always easier just to have the cheese in your taco meat, because then when you pull it out and you want tacos, if you don't have cheese for some reason, because your kids eat it all, then you still will have all the cheesiness inside the taco meat anyway. So here I am the next morning. I have new containers, so I'm just peeling off the labels, and I have to wash and dry all of these. Also, I do make cleaning videos, in case you didn't know that, because you just clicked on this for the meal prep. And that's why I'm including this footage in there, because it's some of my favorite stuff to film is the cleaning. It's motivational, and it always has a good before and after to have the satisfaction of seeing something go from cluttered and messy to uncluttered and clean. So I hope you enjoy it. This is how my chicken looks after I shredded it, and I'm just stirring it around and smelling it, and it's so good. I'm going to portion this out into 6 portions and put it in the freezer in my new meal prep containers. But this is just onion, pepper, and shredded chicken with some taco seasoning. This is good on rice. It's good in a tortilla. It's good on a salad. It's good by itself, but I wouldn't eat it by itself. You could probably have it on mashed potatoes. That's not how I would want to eat it. But it would be really good with like home fry style potatoes. And if you did that, you could put it in a breakfast burrito too. Because I put some water in with my crock pot chicken, there's going to be some delicious juice in the bottom of this crock pot. And you'll see on my last container, I'm going to just dump it there and flatten it out. It's a little liquidy. This container is going to be used for a taco soup. But if you make it, you should do whatever you want to do with it, because no matter what, it's probably going to be delicious. As long as you like taco seasoning. So now I am going to be moving on to rolling up my taquitos. The way that I like to eat these is I fry them in corn oil. But I read something that corn oil has carcinogenics that stay in your body for 365 days. And so I was like, maybe I should stop using corn oil. But it is the most delicious oil that I've used for frying anything ever. Anyway, before I open these tortillas, I rolled the bag in my hands to get them unstuck from each other. These tortillas are from the Dollar Tree. They were $1.25, and they are cheap in quality to where you can see when I roll these and make them that parts of the tortilla are peeling up or peeling off, and they're stuck together. When I try and, pick one up, it's stuck to the one underneath it. But it all worked out in the end. There wasn't a hole in a single one of them, so that's great. The other thing is, with the cream cheese, you may want to soften your cream cheese and just add it directly to the ground beef and cheese. But you don't have to. It can make it a little bit easier. If you're cooking these in bulk, you should definitely soften the cream cheese. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy. Bon appetit!